Hello everyone, it's your girl Coach Kellie from the Coach Kellie Speaks Talk Show. I'm here to talk about my brand new book, the 30-Day, 30-Minute Visionary Journal, Awakening the Finisher Within. I wrote this book because I wanted to inspire other people to be finishers in their own personal journey of business and everyday life. So writing this book has really helped me to organize my thoughts a lot better. And it has also just made me look at things different and not put so much pressure on myself, because before I would try to compile so much information in at one time, but now it has slowed my pace down a lot and I'm able to really plan things out in a 30-day, in a 30-minute manner. And so I think that now, with different projects that I'm working on, I feel that I'm a little more confident in what it is that I'm doing because I've actually planned it out better. So I hope that people who get this book will have a deeper appreciation for, number one, who they are, what they've been called to, and the people group that they've been called to as well. I also want people to have a clear and step-by-step guide to how to fight against fear and procrastination. I hope that this book will help you to win in each and every level of your life, each and every area of your life. I want this book to change the way you see yourself. When you look yourself in the mirror, that you won't see yourself through the eyes of fear, but that you'll see yourself through the eyes of faith, knowing that you are a finisher and that you will finish each and every project that you put your hands on. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you, gracias, because without you, I would not be able to do what I do, what I love every day, from styling my clients to the boutique, and now my new show, the Coach Kellie Speaks Talk Show. This has been an exciting journey for me. I'm inspired by each and every last one of your comments, how you share my posts, going on to YouTube, leaving comments, just all of that just warms my heart every time I read it. And so I wanted to just let you know that you can buy my book on my website at www.coachkelliespeaks.net. Thank you again for tuning in, and I love you guys so much. Thanks. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coach Kellie Speak Show. I'm here with my girl, Shantae Parker. Hey,
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Excited.
So, you excited?
I am.
Yeah.
A little bit nervous, too.
Are you? So, of course, I talked about it earlier that I've known Shantae for a number of years now. We became friends over the years, started out as a business relationship,
Right.
but it kind of went into a friendship.
Sisterhood.
And so, sisterhood, thanks. So I really appreciate you just being here. Tell us a little bit about, a lot about Shantae.
Well, where do you want me to start?
You can start who you are personally, your
Okay.
mom, you
Okay.
know.
So, I'm Shantae Parker. I am a mother of a 14-year-old child. I'm an entrepreneur, past educator, Prince George's County, DC Public Schools, where I taught for 18 years. Transitioned from being a full-time W-2 employee to being a full-time entrepreneur. And I would say right now I'm living my best life because I'm doing what I'm most passionate about.
Awesome. And so what made you choose real estate?
Well, it's really a funny story. So I met someone who ended up being my own personal real estate agent, and he helped me purchase a home. And during the process, I was very into the process. And during the process, he kept saying, I think you would be a good real estate agent. And I was just like, that's not even a real job at the time. That's what I was thinking. And also, he also had a part-time job another job. He worked in car finance, but he did real estate on the side. And so that's one of the reasons why I thought it's not a real job. And so After we went through the transaction and I saw how profitable it was to be a real estate agent, I was like, maybe I could do that, maybe not. So then life happened. I ended up as a teacher. I always had a part-time job anyway.
Okay.
And I always had some sort of business that I was doing on the side. I had a tutoring business.
Okay.
I had a cleaning business. I always had some type of business.
Okay.
So my father was an entrepreneur, and so I think the entrepreneurial spirit came from that.
Yeah.
And so I always was doing something else, but I just hadn't figured out what that something else was that I really wanted to do. So I just so happened to be in one of the people that inspired me to do this was I was divorced or getting a divorce. So I was catapulted into being a single mother. I was broke at the time because I went from a 2 income to a 1 income. Okay. And I just didn't know where my life was going to go. And I was depressed. And so I happened to be in Starbucks, of all places. Okay. And this person, she pulled up in her beautiful, fancy car. She was on the phone. She looked great from head to toe. She was dazzling. I was starstruck when I saw her. And she just, it was like she was moving in slow motion. And she came in and she was behind me in the Starbucks, but she was wheeling and dealing on the phone. She was like literally conducting a real estate transaction on the phone. And so, but her voice sounded familiar, although what she was saying, I had no idea what she was talking about, but I knew she was handling her business. And so I turned around and I said, "What do you do?" And she said, "I'm a realtor." And I was like, oh my God. It was like the sky opened up and I knew that that's what I was supposed to do. I literally ran out of there to my car, could not dial the number fast enough, and called the person who had told me all along that I should do it. And I said, "I'm going to be a realtor." And he got really excited about it. And he told me where to take the class, and I took the class. And so literally, the class is like 4 weeks. Literally, the 5th week, my cousin called me, and she said, "Look, somebody just got carjacked, unfortunately, outside my house. I know that you just got your license. I know you don't even know what you're doing. However, I believe in you, and I know that you're smart. So figure it out. Sell my house." And so I was like, oh my goodness. And so I did. I sold her house, and then she bought another house.
5 weeks.
5 weeks. In that 1 month. And that was December of 2005. And that 1 month, I made $23,000, which was a quarter of my teaching salary that I had earned the whole entire year. And in that first year, and it kept happening like that, like one after another. And it wasn't just people that I knew. So since I'm the type of person that when I decide to do something, I jump all the way in to do it. So I committed that I was going to do it and I was going to learn to do it. And the company that I joined, and none of it was an accident. It all really was orchestrated for the same purpose. But the company that I joined, the broker, he literally touched my hand and he said, "Do you think you can earn $1 million selling real estate?" And I just said, "Yeah, I believe that you can." And he said, "Well, I'm going to show you how." And I said, "Okay." and that's what he did. So he literally was a teacher. And so he had all types. I went to every single class. I studied. I focused on it. And although I was a full-time single mom now, although I had a full-time job, it was like I just focused on every opportunity that I had. So from that point, so one of the things he told me to do was an open house. And so I went to an open house, scared to death, didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say. This lady walks in, this is deal 3, and she says, "I want to buy this house. Can you help me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." But I don't know what to do. So I figured it out. I sold her a house, and literally when I got the day I was going to settlement, and I remember this like it was yesterday, I had my settlement check and my paycheck in my hand. The settlement check was $8,700. The paycheck was $1,500. 2 hours of work, 40 hours of work. And I said to myself, what is the question? Like, there is no question.
That is amazing that you had that moment, because a lot of people are searching all over the place and they miss those opportunities. Like, what is that thing that you would say to someone who has been missing it?
You just have to, at the end of the day, I think you have to figure out what you are passionate about. Not just what you like or you like, I liked being a teacher, but was I really passionate about it? I wouldn't say that I was. Like, being a real estate agent, I eat, sleep, and breathe it. I wake up every morning excited to do it. Sometimes I can't sleep because I wake up in the middle of the night to finish something or to do something that I have a good idea about. That's passion. Yeah. Sorry, that's passion. So if you don't want to go to work in the morning, if you dread waking up, if you are miserable while you're there, then you're not passionate about that. So I think the best advice would be to find something that you really, really, in your heart and soul, are passionate about. And that thing will make you, I mean, it won't be work to you. That thing will make you go and do it all the time. So somebody said to me on the way, I told her I was going to be talking to you today. And she was like, well, do you think I could be a realtor? And she was like, because you make it look easy. It's totally not easy. It's not easy at all. It's probably one of the hardest things I have to do because there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of pieces. But because I'm passionate about it, it makes it still feel like it's not work to me. Yeah. So
how did your former career connect to real estate?
Well, one of the things I like, I think inherently I'm a teacher. I think in being an educator is in my soul. And so I use that, which I believe is a God-given talent. I use that in real estate because a lot of times I meet like first-time home buyers, or I meet people, sellers who don't really understand the process. So I get to sit down with people and educate them and explain. But in order to do that, like with any business, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to study what it is that you're passionate about, because you don't just want to do something. You want to be the best at whatever it is that you decide to do. And so in order to do that, you have to study, you have to learn, you have to go to classes, you have to go to workshops, you have to network with people who are, people that you want to emulate, people that you look up to in the business. And that's pretty much what I did.
Yeah. And so how would they get in contact with you? You can share some of your contact information as well as the process once they contact you. How does that go?
Okay. So my website is, I actually just moved to a new company, and that company is McInerney and Associates. I was formerly with Exit Realty for 12 years. So just like, working a teaching position for 18 years, I was in the same company, the same, classroom for a long time. And at some point you got to change. Some point, in order to elevate, I felt like I had a glass ceiling over my head that I just couldn't break through. So I had the same production, the same everything every single year. So for me, and change is not easy. So in order for me to change, I had to literally change locations, change companies, change the circle, change the people that I was around. And I feel that by doing that, I've naturally elevated myself. I've naturally elevated my potential, because everybody has potential, but if you're not working on the elevation of it, what's the use of having the potential? So to contact me, my website is lovelivingindc.com. And that's all my social media too. My Instagram is Love Living in DC. My Facebook page is Love Living in DC. Because I really do focus on selling homes in DC. Although I sell everywhere, Maryland, DC, and Virginia. So, soon to be Virginia. So, that's it. What else?
Yeah, that's awesome. You say, I'm ready. What's next?
It was next.
And so, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
So, one of the things that happened to me last week is I got to sit down with a person in my company who earned $50 million last year. And I never, ever would have had that opportunity had I not made the decision to make a move. And the fact that she was willing to sit down with me, you need a mentor and a coach in every field that you're in. If you want to be the best at what you do, you have to be around the best people, the people who are already doing what it is that you want to do. And so she sat down with me and she basically said that she was me a few years ago. And what she did, in order to grow, you have to expand what you do. You basically have to grow a team. And she told me that I need help. There's no way you could be a lone person on the island. So she told me that I needed help. I needed to hire people to help basically duplicate myself. I need to train them. I need to mentor them. And those people will help me get to the next level. So that's where I see myself, growing a team. And I also see myself doing more on the real estate investment side.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Like, everything you basically shared, it was really in my notes. And it's like,
it just came out.
Yeah. And so you know that it's in you, like you said, it's a passion and just your willingness to share information.
Yeah.
And because you're a teacher, it's like you gave us line by line. You went to school, you're networking, you're doing it all, like you said. And so as an entrepreneur, I salute you. I see you posting on social media. I see you, I noticed on the 4th of July, you gave all your past customers.
I bought you one.
You bought them all condiments. So I think that was awesome. It's very
you have to be willing to go beyond what other people won't do. It's the reason why, and I think this principle is true for any business. That in any business, the top 10% make all the money, and that's because that small percentage of people are willing to go above and beyond and overboard to make something happen. You do that every day in your business. Yeah.
And so how can we reach you? One more time.
You can reach me at any point, but you can call me 240-423-5911, or you can visit my website, which is www.lovelivingindc.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shantae.
You're welcome.
We will be back.
I'm so honored.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with Maya Wright.
Aw.
That I have connects that have more than me and they're doing a lot better than me, and that's not to knock them, but you're supposed to think highly of yourself, and you're supposed to, at least the way I think. So I watch a lot of documentaries on lions and stuff, and I'm really fascinated with those animals, and I take a lot of their mentality to my mindset, and even in the Bible it talks about lions, and I think God wants us to think like a lion. Well, if you think about a lion doesn't have an inferiority complex.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm here with 3-time ovarian cancer survivor, Maya Wright.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. I look up to you. I watch you on social media, and I get an opportunity to share in a friendship with you as well. But I want to honor you separately and know that, we're all watching. God is working in your life, and it's just really an honor to have you on the show.
Oh, Kelly, don't make me cry.
Not
from the first 90 seconds.
And so, tell us who Maya Wright is.
Maya Wright, the person, or Maya Wright, We Can Survive? Maya?
Everything.
Okay. Well, I'm a mom. This weekend, my oldest daughter, who graduated from college in May, became engaged. So I'm about to be a mother in love soon.
Yeah.
I am a friend, a lover of God, and just excited to do small things with great love. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So you started this nonprofit organization a few years ago, We Can Survive, where you help survivors and their families. And so what made you decide to do that?
Okay, so long story short, a lot of people don't know that 2 weeks from being released from federal prison, I started doing the things to create We Can Survive. And then 90 days later, the IRS officially made it a nonprofit organization. So what happened was I was incarcerated battling a terminal illness, and I was forced to be alone. And in that time, I really was able to get to know God and all of his greatness in one of the toughest times of my life by myself. So coming home and I really wasn't even supposed to be home. My release date was February 18th, 2018, but a miracle from God happened. I was released early. So with that being said, people would just ask me, hey, Maya, I know someone who's in the hospital right now with cancer. Can you just go and talk to them? And it just became something that I did every day. And from there, We Can Survive started. It all basically started from just allowing people to see that the blood of Jesus still works. You know, God is still in the healing business, and that no matter how bad a situation appears, we can overcome everything.
Yeah. And so how do you go and, because you have beat cancer 3 times, you know, every time I say that, it's like,
That's something, every time I say it, I be like,
slain, okay? And so every time you go and you speak with someone and you share that story with other people, what is generally their response?
Well, generally, when I first meet people, they're like, especially persons who have a terminal illness, it is one thing for somebody to look you in your eye as your doctor. That's the person that we trust with all of our medical stuff, to tell you that there's nothing else that he can do. So you feel defeated. You feel like you're dying. Some people really, you know, accept it. So when I tell them, hey, I was told the same thing. However, I was shackled left wrist, left ankle to a bed. You have all your family around. I didn't have that. You know, that changes the perspective, and they, you know, they're like, okay, and then they start to listen, you know, like, okay, so how did you get through that? How did you do this? And I tell them about affirmations, and what a lot of people don't know is we can survive. It's actually an affirmation that I said while I was terminally ill. I used to say every day, I can survive, I can survive, I will survive, I can survive. And so I started sharing it with my daughter, and my daughter was like, Mom, you can't say I can't survive because we in this together. We got to start saying we can survive. And that's how the name came to be. So I guess when talking to what I call cancer heroes, some people call them clients, it's just basically letting them know that there is nothing too hard for God. To die is great, you know, that's not defeat. And to live is even better. And if we survive, it's not for ourselves, it's for somebody else.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I never known that. I never knew that was an affirmation. We can survive.
It's an affirmation I would say every day.
Yeah, I mean, that's very
looking
very
in the mirror,
powerful.
88 pounds, saying we can survive. I can survive.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. A friend of mine, she lost all of her hair, and she says every morning she will wake up and comb her hair. You know, there was no hair
I
there,
love
but
that.
she would still comb her hair and do her makeup like she had a full head of hair, and you know, everything like that. And so, what is one of the how do you balance business, your life, just everything?
I think I'm learning. I think I'm learning balance every day. I know when I talk to you a lot, I'm learning how to balance. We can survive. Maya Wright inspires. Being a mom, being in a relationship, and just mental, spiritual. You know, I think a lot of times people forget to take care of themselves. Every day I'm dealing with death and disappointment of some sort. Nobody's excited when they find out they have been diagnosed with cancer or their cancer comes back. So I've had to learn how to turn my phone off. I no longer accept calls in the middle of the night. I used to have my phone on 24 hours a day, get out the bed. I don't do that anymore. After a certain time, my phone goes off. I've learned how to say, no, I can't come to you right now. I will be there tomorrow. I will be there on Wednesday. So for me, it was just finding balance and being okay with saying no.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Oh, in the next 10 years. My overall goal is for We Can Survive to be like an international hub. I would love to be an organization where I raise money for other We Can Survives in other areas. We have a missions trip in August, so I would love to have a We Can Survive Honduras, a We Can Survive Dominican Republic, We Can Survive Kenya, We Can Survive South Africa, because I know that individuals all over the world need the services that we provide and the uniqueness of the services that we provide.
So tell us your story about Honduras, and just give us, because you're a nonprofit, so how was you able to raise money for this mission trip that you guys are taking in April to Honduras?
Okay, so the cool thing is every day in the United States, We Can Survive, we provide financial, physical, and spiritual support to cancer patients, survivors, their caregivers, and families impacted by cancer. I shared my story at an event. There was the president, one of the board members of the American Society of Clinical Oncologists was there. They said, "We love your story, and we feel like people in underserved countries need to hear your story as well." So they invited me last April to go to Honduras, and there, the American Society of Clinical Oncology, they provide financially 100% for this cancer center. So everything that's in there, they provide. So last year, we raised funds to get there, but we also raised 6 months worth of supplies to make sure that the center was stocked. So this year, there are 17 of us going, August the 6th to the 12th, and what we've been doing is fun-filled events and activities to raise money to get there, as well as still raising funds and supplies to take a year's worth of supplies over there to make sure that they are fully stocked until we get back.
Yeah, and so how much would a project like that take? How much?
Well, this project for us to get there, like airfare and housing, was $1,800 per person, so roughly $45,000.
Yeah, and so how, with such a great need and everything that you are doing, how can they donate towards the nonprofit?
So if you are in an office building, you can create a box where people could collect medical supplies like Band-Aids, alcohol, peroxide, or you can go onto our website at www.we-can-cervive.org. Once again, that's www.we-can-cervive.org.
Yeah. And if we have any questions, you can go onto Facebook as well and post your questions. If you have questions for either one of the young ladies, Shantae or Maya, you can go right on to, you can go on Listen Vision Live, or you can go onto Unique Care or one of our pages and leave your comments. And you can also, with Maya, you can go onto her website right now, wecansurvive.org. She has an entire page, how to donate, how to give. And again, you can also set up a hub. Is it called a hub?
Right. Yeah, a hub in your area.
Yeah, you can create a hub in your area. And so, can you say it one more time?
www.we-can-cervive.org. Awesome. One more time, www.we-can-cervive.org.
Yeah, and so what are some of the things you guys going to do in Honduras this year? What are your plans?
So this year, I will not be participating in any surgeries. Last year, I witnessed a double mastectomy take place, and I believe in my spirit I don't have to do that anymore. So I'm probably going to be head of the coloring with children, nail painting, bow painting, and more of the encouraging support. Some of the other persons that will be attending will actually be participating in surgeries and procedures. Some of the other persons who are stronger in administrative work will be helping them get organized with their files. We were definitely hoping to be able to donate like some iPads or tablets to help them stay ahead of the game technology-wise with keeping up with the patients and things like that. So we're still hoping those things come through, but just basically whatever it is that God wants us to do over there, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. And I believe that whatever God has called you to do, He'll make you an expert in it.
He does.
Yeah. Because, He always gives us those things that you always go, what?
Right. When he tells you, like, I mean, like I said, I was 2 weeks home from federal prison. So, like, when you're talking about starting a nonprofit, it's like, I can't do that. I'm a convicted felon. I can't do this. Who's going to support me? How are they going to support me? And yeah, who's going to support me? How are they going to support me? Why are they going to support me? But 2 years later, we've helped over 121 persons impacted by cancer. 2 major Christmas programs that have helped over 63 children, homeless families. I mean, funerals, delinquent rent, mortgages. We've done it all, and it's because of God.
And you know, the last show I talked about the was, and how a lot of people will use your, well, she was this and she was that and she did this and she's doing that. And a lot of times we miss out on the opportunities. And if we look at our own if we look at our own past, it will stop us from doing what God has called us to do. And so we're going to come right back after this break, and we're going to have Shantae come back on, and we're going to answer any questions you guys have. So feel free to shoot those questions right over, and we'll be back right after this commercial break. Kellie Speak Show. I have the ladies back, and as we do every show, we have a panel about current events and things of that sort. So today we're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about best marketing strategies that you can apply to your social media. Shantae and Maya, they are always shutting it down on social media. Shantae is always sending me emails telling me about hashtags, and you shared something really good with me about a young lady who used her social media, and it's like she got so many shares and just all of that stuff. So if you can just share with us just some quick tips about social media and how to maximize it.
Well, what I'm learning, because I'm a work in progress or process, what I'm learning is that social media, the whole purpose of it, the whole ideology behind the creation of it is for it to be relational. And so many people post to post, but really it's about interaction. So if you are a business owner, you need to use it as a platform for interacting or deepening the relationship with the people you already have relationships with. Anybody that's an entrepreneur knows that most of our businesses are built upon referrals. Our referral base is who continues to feed us and keep us where we are, and help us to become successful. And so those people are the people who follow you on social media, which before social media, we really had no way of interacting with as many people as we have an opportunity to interact with. So I would say just really focus on the relationship part of it. And it's also the emotion part of it. So if somebody says somebody in their family died, don't ignore that post. Comment, say, you sorry or whatever. Be real about it though. Don't just do it just to be doing it, but do it because you actually care and show that you're a real person behind the social media.
Wow, Maya.
Right. I love social media. social media is the only place where you could connect with somebody in PG County, Maryland, and Africa at the same time for free. So I love it. I do feel, like you said, as an entrepreneur, it should be something that we use to create relationships and continue relationships. However, the flip side of social media is that a lot of people are not authentic on there, you know, so you have the multitude of coaches, you know, like we have this really large launch. Everyone now is a coach, you know, or everyone now is a boss, you know, or everyone now is this or that, you know, and it kind of takes away from real relationships, you know, like getting down and calling people, you know, like, hi, Kellie, I would like to invite you here, or this, even down to dating, you know, like people feel like they're in whole relationships with individuals that they're just liking pictures and commenting on, you know, and yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because social media makes people feel like, you know, it is what it is when it's not.
Yeah, and so I think you do want to be very intentional about what you do. You know, I don't recommend venting ever as a business owner. I think as a business owner, you want to protect your brand. If you have a personal page and you decide to, you know, share, you had an argument yesterday, that's totally fine. Right. You know what I'm saying? But if you know you're selling a product, you know, or service, and another thing that I don't do as much is on my personal social media, I don't subscribe to. If you, like for me, if you follow me on Successful Salon, it's all hairstyles. Just because I don't want you to have to go through what I ate yesterday and my feet, you know, and you know what I mean? Like little memes and stuff like that. Like I want you to go into my social media and you're clear on my message. Like you don't have to guess, and there's no guesswork. We talked about that the other day. Like there's no guesswork. Like is she is she a chef, or is she a hairstylist, or is she a real estate agent? And if you're all of those things, it's okay to have. Because I have 4 Instagrams, and some of my friends, we hang out. They're like, well, what should I at you? I'm like, you can do Coach Kellie. Right. Don't do the hair one. They won't know me as friend because I don't really put a lot of my personal things on that one. So, you know, you want to be intentional about what it is you're doing, making sure you're hashtagging, because I love hashtagging as long as they're positive. You know what I mean? So,
but hashtags are important because that's how people find you. Yeah. You know, people will find you from a hashtag. So I know with hashtag we can survive. At first it was a little annoying because, you know, we had a multitude of persons who kind of took over. But then I had to look at it the flip side, like, hey, these people are in our hashtag, so now they are connecting with us, you know, so hashtags are very important.
Very, very important. But ladies, I really appreciate you both. As I mentioned earlier, I believe that, you know, God is always connecting our paths, and I do believe in collaboration. Women collaborate, celebrate each other. There's room for everybody to win. And so go out and support these ladies. Support We Can Survive. Go, and there's no donation too small. And you can also donate monthly. Who doesn't like an auto pay, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and then also, can you, I wanted to talk about Shantae as well. I got a little distracted, but also with Shantae, and a lot of times women are doing amazing things, and it's so many quiet storms around us, and it's so many people that until you talk to them, you would just never know how strong they are. And so, Shantae, I just appreciate you just kind of being my yin and yang, because I can call her at any time of night and she'll give me information. She'll never withhold information. She'll give me the address.
Even the first time we met.
She was like, listen, put this in your GPS. Like, you know, she will share information. And so I appreciate both of you guys. So if you can, starting with Shantae, give them your website as well as your social media and how they can get in contact with you.
Can I say one more quick thing?
Mm-hmm.
So you asked me earlier about how am I using education in my business. So one of the things I decided to do this year is to adopt a school. So I'm adopting Whittier Education Campus in Northwest DC, and one of their challenges is technology. So for every commission, every house that I sell, I'm going to be donating $250, and some business partners are going to be matching that so we can buy. I want them to have a 1-to-1 ratio of computers for their children. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing. Thank you.
Amazing.
So you can reach me again at www.lovelivingindc.com. All my social media is the same. That's another thing about branding. It should be this, like, you should have something that's the same. You're Coach Kellie. I know how to find Coach Kellie. So and my phone number is 240-423-5911. Thanks.
Maya.
On Instagram, you can find us at we.cancer.vive. Once again, on Instagram, we.cancer.vive. Facebook, We Can Survive. My personal page is Maya, M-I-A, Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T, Inspires.
Awesome. In our final thoughts, I wanted to just say this was an absolutely great show. Stay watching, join the conversation. You can email me at coachkelliespeaks@gmail.com, and also follow us on all social media platforms. We're also on YouTube. So if you have missed any of our shows, not to worry, you can go on to YouTube on Coach Kellie Speaks. Thank you so much for joining the conversation, and we will see you next week on the Coach Kellie Speaks Show.
Yay.
Everybody, it's your girl Coach Kellie, and I wanted to just say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It has been amazing. You guys following my journey, the show, social media, just emails, everything. It has been amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say thank you enough. Love you so much. And here's a look back from last week's show.
The first thing we wanted to do was get a federal government job, and so that's what I did. And then I just got into, I had children, had a husband, had responsibilities and obligations, and so I just got focused. I just got into that hustle of getting that promotion. So I would go to work real hard because I was banking on the next promotion, and I got it, and that's what I did.
And so I always loved to dance, so that's when I correlated the two. And I said, you know what, it's time for me to put my passion into work and to kind of move forward with what I really love to do. And then Leela Bell just always rung a bell in my head.
Wasn't that amazing? If you missed it, don't worry. You can catch the replay at www.coachkellie.net. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Coach Kellie Speaks. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Coach Kellie Speaks. We'll see you soon.